Celeste Jensen, which is, you know, your lovely teacher's youngest and most favorite beautiful child. What can I say? That's why they're the youngest. They got it perfect, so they stopped trying.
Yes, the
Anyway.
truth is the truth.
Yeah. Well, today I'm going to show you how to make a banana cream pie by making a custard. It's a favorite of my dad's, so that's why we're making it again. We're also going to make a meringue topping for it as well. And I usually put in rum and vanilla extract in this. The original recipe didn't call for it, but that's what I'm doing. For a custard, you need egg yolks, which actually works really great for doing meringues because meringues only need egg whites. So you kind of get to do both of them. So you have to separate the two, obviously, and you have to keep them very separate because a meringue, you can't have any egg yolk in it or else it ruins the whole thing. So separate an egg. I use my fingers, but you can use a lot of other things, like a proper egg separator. I just put it in my hand like this, drop the eggshells down, and kind of use my fingers to jiggle it down there. It's very gooey and very cold because we got it out of the outside fridge. And you gotta make sure to use slightly older eggs work better for this because it keeps the yolk nice and firm, preventing it from spilling out of your hands. Because you see how some of these yolks, yeah, we used a very fresh egg and we had to throw out the first egg white. So to make sure we keep them all separate, we use a third bowl to keep that. That way, if you accidentally get egg yolk and one egg white, it doesn't ruin the whole thing. Technically, you only need 3 egg whites for a meringue, but I like to make them extra poofy and use all the egg whites. All right. There we go. Now that all the eggs are separated, I need to wash my hands because they are very gooey. Very gooey. I don't want to get salmonella, so I always end up
Future nurse here is much more efficient at scrubbing her hands.
Yeah. Haven't you seen the internet, Mom? You're supposed to wash them thoroughly. There's a pandemic.
I know. This is why we're videoing adulting class instead of actually doing it in person.
I should probably wipe up some of this goo to keep it from. Just throw this in the dishwasher. Keeping your workplace nice and clean and uncluttered helps with confusion. All right. Let me get to my. First, we're going to whisk together the 4 tablespoons of cornstarch here. The salt, 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Never put 2 tablespoons of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. There is a handy dandy whisk.
Just appeared out of nowhere.
Just appeared out of nowhere. Let's just summon it. Here it is. So here's our handy dandy little bowl. Pop goes the egg whites.
Yolks.
Yolks, yes. I know my colors, right? Okay. Again, one of the egg yolks broke, so it likes to stick in there. It's being naughty with me. All right. I like to break the egg yolks a little bit before anything. Now the egg yolks make the custard nice and rich and creamy, and the cornstarch helps thicken it. I usually use about a tablespoon of cornstarch per cup of liquid if you're trying to thicken something. And the nice thing about cornstarch too is it rarely changes the taste of whatever you're making. So if something's too watery, you can put in a little cornstarch and it usually thickens it up while it's baking.
And it's gluten-free.
And it's gluten-free, look at that. I usually like to whisk slowly if there's a lot of powder so I don't whisk it all over the place. See, I already got. Should probably put on one of those cute little aprons.
Auntie Mimi would let you use hers.
Oh, I'm sure.
If only she were here.
Oh yeah, if only. Who knows where she's gotten off to. All right. This is nice and thick. There we go. Now that's all nice and whisked together and creamy. We're gonna start the second half of the custard, which involves a whole lot of milk and half. It usually calls for heavy cream, but I can use half and half as well, and it just works out fine. So we get a saucepan out. It's fine. It's all fine.
There we go.
It's all fine.
The whisk just fell into the egg whites. But hey,
Now I have
it'll be
to
all right.
reference my recipe again. Okay. So,
The nice thing about this recipe too, while she's looking that up, is that yes, we're using it for banana cream pie. We're going to put it in this graham cracker crust. But you could just eat this custard with the bananas in it. You could add the little wafer cookies. This is just a cooked custard, which is a richer pudding than a pudding. So you could use it for a lot of different things. So say you really are cooking this for someone who has to be gluten-free and you don't have a gluten-free crust option, you could definitely just make the pudding
just make the pudding without a crust.
and put the bananas and maybe the topping on it, even the meringue in a little individual serving, and give that person one without the crust. So it's very versatile. Don't be afraid to experiment. Okay.
All right. I'm going to push that away. And we'll have to bring some milk, half and half, and salt to boil in this. So we'll do 1.5 cups of milk. Now this is a very handy little thing because I can just look and see.
We talked in class how you have to have a measuring cup on a level surface so you can see. This, you don't have to bend down. You can just look through the top. And you can see when it's at the right spot.
There we go.
All right. Did you say 2 cups? 1.5 cups.
1.5 cups, yeah.
Awesome.
And we're going to do the same with the half and half, but we only need 2/3 of a cup of the half and half. Okay, let's start that boiling. All right, let me get this open. That would be great. God, my tiny little princess hands. Grip on it. There we go. Aha, didn't have to call over somebody.
Aunt Mimi was available.
Can never open anything. It's a disaster. I can never live on my own. I'll starve. I could just see it's not as handy when the milk.
It's thick and you can't see the markings. That's a good point.
There we go.
All right.
Now we do the 1/2 cup of sugar in there. There we go. Now that we'll have to bring that to just a boil. Again, we prefer to keep our space nice and neat and cleared of everything we don't need. Sometimes you can sing a little song to help it boil faster. Doesn't really help it boil faster, but you can pretend, you know.
Feels faster.
Feels faster.
So what are you going to do next? Because I'm going to shut down this video and we'll have to have part 2. So when
Okay.
it starts thickening in a minute, I'll video that. So what are you going to have to do next?
I'm going to have to temper it because of the egg yolks. If I just pour it all into a boiling pit here, then it'll cook, and you'll just get these cooked egg yolks, and it's not going to be creamy, it's not going to be soft, it's going to taste disgusting. So you have to temper it first. You put a little bit of the hot into this cold right here and get it up to speed there, up to the right temperature. And then once that's all happy, and you have to continually whisk again so it doesn't cook on you in the wrong way. And then you pour what's been tempered back into here.
Slowly, right?
Slowly, yes, very slowly. You do it slowly both times. Again, so it's a gradual change in temperature. And then once that's done, the cornstarch and everything should help thicken this, but you have to continually stir and stir or else it's going to burn on the bottom. Mm-hmm. That's the bad thing about custard. You have to watch it or else it will burn on the bottom. That's the continual stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring.
Well, we're going to let the milk get up to the
almost
simmer. Oh, is it almost there?
It's almost there, yeah. Milk heats up fast. I don't know why. It's a lot in there either, so it's close to
Well, in the interest of my video loading easily later, we're almost 12 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and sign off on this one. So you'll have to watch part 2 to get the rest of the story.